moving some stuff around. Let's see here. This is going to be a really interesting one today, guys. We are starting our third semester next week, officially next week. But I came across some really interesting custom control uses, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of expose everybody to the kinds of programming that not only projects that I'm working on, but people are working on out in the field. And they've used custom control, they've designed things that are perfect for what they need. And I got a couple of them and I want to show you guys. So we will go ahead and jump in. I suppose it's 11:01 now. A couple things to know beforehand. And also just to check, everybody's very quiet, but I hope you can hear me. Um, and I'll even check the chat here. Let's see. Got you guys going. Okay, so what to know for today. Custom control is free, and I will paste. All right, awesome. Thank you very much, Les. I will paste the link for custom control in the chat here in just a moment, and it is available for AHM, Avantis, and DLive. Those are the two consoles and the matrix processor that custom control works with. And it works with things like Windows, on Windows computers, on Mac OS, on Android tablets and phones, as well as Apple devices like iPads and iPhones. And I suppose iPod touches, if anybody still has those. And something else to know is that there is an editor and the application. The editor is what you will use to actually build everything, and the application is what runs what you make. So let me stop sharing. I gotta switch my cam over. I'm trying some new stuff out today because this is a good reason to. So let's exit out of here. Let me get that link for you guys. Sometimes having two screens is just not enough. There you go. There's the link to custom controller you guys can download. Again, it's free. You can totally follow along if you'd like. And we will drag this down here. Let's see if OBS wants to behave. Gonna get fancy. Okay, put that over here, click, 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 start virtual cam, go back to Zoom, it's like, switch videos, here we go. And I need to take off. There we go, okay. And I will spotlight myself. Man, I go to some real lengths for you guys. All right, there we go. And I will hide this. Okay, so custom control. I know that you guys have been on some of my other mini master classes with me, where I've talked about this a lot, and I think it's really I'm trying to make it less of a little secret, but it's a little bit of a secret right now, and I think that people can really get a lot of use out of it, and I just kind of again want to expose some people to the different kinds of things I've seen and things that I've programmed as well. So again, I've got a couple of different camera shots I'll try to take here, but hopefully my video feed is just fine, but we'll see. Let me know if there's like a lot of lag or anything like that. It's kind of hard for me to tell while I'm operating all this equipment. So, okay, up here I have my custom control editor open in the top right. And then at the bottom is actually the application I have running on my Mac as well. So, and I can do a couple of little switcheroos here. So I also have System Manager open for AHM. I'll be kind of showing you guys all the programming with AHM because it's so flexible and it doesn't have the same kind of rigidity of control that some of the consoles have, for good reason. With AHM, it's kind of meant to just be like all, do whatever you kind of want sort of approach. So that's also, it's like my favorite. So I like playing with it. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see. Okay, I've got system manager and custom control up. Right now I have my ultimate config file going. This has many different, I guess you can kind of say like venues or scenarios in it. I've been building it for pretty much since I started here, and it just continues to get larger and larger. So currently I've got just an auditorium, and I've got a like a corporate ballroom set up with airsoft walls that you can close and open. I've also got a house of worship with classrooms and a cafe. And then I've also got a broadcast studio with their own mics where they have Zoom meetings and things like that. And then I've also got, I was talking with somebody recently, and it was a bar and a restaurant, but it also had a stage. There's like a speakeasy in there. And I just thought it was so interesting that I went ahead and built it into this. So those are all of the different scenarios we've got right now. I also have this redundancy switch in there, which is beyond the scope of what we're talking about today, but essentially I have it programmed so that if I'm connected to with Waves or Dante, it's looking for a signal, and if that signal drops, it changes all of the IO over to an analog. So basically kind of redundancy, or if you want to call it like an emergency switch. So if Dante or if Waves were to fail, we wouldn't lose all of the audio. We could have some analog or some S-Link options that have a very, very low failure rate. So that is what that is. So then if I switch my camera views here for you guys, over to, let's do, all right. So in this ultimate config file, I've got a few things going here. So let's take a look at the bar restaurant first. As you can see, I've got just a few things going on. Like I've got my auditorium, which I have shown several times before. I'm in the middle of building my ballroom, but I have some finished bar, patio, and restaurant ones. And I can double click on it and actually go in and see how the programming is set up. I've just got a really nice, simple volume switches and a source select. And if I go to my custom control app, and I say, okay, I actually want to log in. I want this to be bar. That's what we're looking at, right? Yep. I'll log in with bar, connect. Oh, my network is acting funny. Oh, I kind of like the circle though. You guys can see that, okay? Is my video feed keeping up with my audio? My video's going through a couple of different things. Huh, this is weird. Stand by. Upload, yes. Let me, I wonder if it's because my computer fell asleep. Let me reopen it. When in doubt, restart. There we go. Yep, it's because my computer fell asleep. Okay, so we have this, and wow, that's tiny. There you guys go. You guys should be able to see that okay now. If I go over to Zoom, yes, you guys can see that just peachy. Alrighty, sorry about that. Okay, so I've got this app running, and I've got the editor up on the top right, and I've got the actual application itself running in the bottom left. And in fact, let me switch this so you guys can see it actually happening. Yeah, that's good. Make this big. OBS is so weird. There we go. So I can actually be running this while I'm testing things. For instance, I have this up and down volume button actually set with a fader. You can't limit what the user is actually changing it. So they basically have full control. But oftentimes when we're creating these custom control applications, we want them to be a little bit more curtailed when we're letting them control volume. So a fix for that is using buttons to do volume up and down in a source selection. So like, let's say again, this is the bar. I'm logged in with the bar. It's sitting over there, and we want them to be able to select between the tunes computer or the stage volume. Like if they wanted to listen to, if there was a band playing, maybe a jazz band or heavy metal band or who knows, is playing, and we want them to hear that at the bar, I can turn that on. And actually, we'll go to zones here. And you can see as I change this, my source selection changes, which is nice. I guess it's a little bit tough to see up here in the stage selection, but there we go. You can see I'm changing it, so it's listening to the tunes PC, and that's when I've got signal, but I don't have anything coming in on the stage, so it actually cuts that out. And if I go back over here so you guys can see the overall level, I can hit up and down, and it does it by 1.5 decibels, little chunklets. But I can sit here, and I've actually limited to between -25 and +8 randomly, so they can sit here and go like, okay, we want more, but I won't let them get past these sections, which is really nice. It's a similar story if I log out and maybe you want to go to the restaurant, or let's try the patio. I have a user called Patio, and that's kind of how I'm letting them access things, is with user profiles on my AHM itself. So same kind of deal, a different picture, a very nice picture. All good. You've moved office. No, I haven't moved offices. You're just looking at me from a different angle. So what's behind me is usually what's right in front of me when I'm talking to you guys. But I wanted to do all this fancy stuff on my Mac, so I'm over here today. So same kind of deal. I can go over to my zones. I can go to my patio that I've labeled outside, and I can do the same kind of like let them go up, let them go down. I can give them full range if I'd like. I can let them pick between the tunes or the stage. And a similar story, if I were to go into the restaurant, again, a lovely picture from Unsplash. And I can pick between what we want to hear. If we want to hear something from the stage, we want to hear something from the PC, and then giving them volume control, all for the sake of, you know, the maitre d' or the bartender or the person who's hostessing out on the patio can have really quick, easy access. There's not too much. It's pleasant to look at. Things are color coordinated. It's easy to use, and they can just go, yep, I want a little bit more volume, or I want less, or no, we really don't need to hear this band. They are not good, so we don't need to do that. So we've got that. And then if I go over to, I've also got a studio, a streaming studio here. So I will go into my user streaming suite. And again, these all work on, I'm running it on my Mac right now, but they work on Windows and Android and like iPhone and iPad tablets as well. So now I've got a different kind of, this is a whole different vibe. I'm sure some of you have probably seen this background a lot. It's this purple drape. I really like it. I use it for a lot of random things, and like these webinars, I like using it. So I just threw it in here. Oh, Dustin I was talking about your library background. Yeah, I had to, when I left that up, you guys couldn't see all my computer jazz. You could only see my face in the upper left corner. Okay, so in my streaming suite, and this was a real installation whose like programming I kind of like took it to put in my ultimate config file. It's a complete streaming studio where a professional speaker wanted to be able to continue to have engagements even though we couldn't travel everywhere. So they built this whole like Zoom infrastructure going on so they could have, and I'll even kind of show you a little bit of what I've programmed for it. So they've got a studio mic, like for the people mixing who are outside of the room. There's 2 pairs of in-ears, 2 wedges, and 2 Zoom feeds going on. And on the inputs, I've actually got an MC mic, 4 available Zoom inputs, 2 lavs, and a music feed. And I just wanted to give them, there's a little bit of extra control. You can see we've got some little chromatic meters. One's green and one's kind of flashing orange because that's actually reading the signal that's coming in. So it's got that running, and I gave them just the wedge control if they were using the wedges for themselves, and giving them a little extra control for how much of the NC mic they could hear and how much of the music they could hear. What's kind of fun about programming all this custom control stuff is that you can really decide exactly what you want. So maybe some of these are just the main level. Like I'm just adjusting how loud level lav1 is. Or maybe I want to just adjust how much of something is being sent someplace. Or I want to control my control groups. Or I want to control my cross points. We can do all sorts of stuff. And we can, and these are all these buttons and stuff. Even if I go over here, yeah, even if I go let me show you guys. I guess you can't see it unless I show it to you. There we go. I can go over here and make really quick changes and just say, yeah, instead of being white, I actually want to change this theme. Let's do, let me choose the background here. Maybe I like gray. I like this gray. And all is well. All I have to do is hit upload. Yep, that one. My screen flashes and it instantly updates with the latest one. So I can make changes on the fly all the time. But I did like that white one, so let's go back to it. And we'll hit upload. Yep, perfect. And I can also, again, change how things look or things act. So maybe instead of being just the main level for input 49, which is lav1, maybe I want to do a send level, how much of lav1 is being sent someplace. Or I can do the main level of a control group. And something I just programmed, and I'll actually show you guys in one of my other ones. So let's open these up. I will, first I have to go to System Manager. Doo-ba-doo. I have to, I guess I can show you guys so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Restore config. And I'm going to do my wedding venue. And then I'm going to go over to my custom control and I'm going to load a file. And we'll discard those. Let's see here, wedding venue. So now I've got this. This is just a little nice one pager. And I need to log out and log in as an admin. I believe that's how they have this set up. Well, it would help if I uploaded it. There we go. Okay. So now this is a wedding venue. They've got like lots of different areas. As you can see, they did a tab container. I helped them program this. And we just wanted to give them a couple of different options. So the Sonos, if you guys don't know, it's like a music streaming machine. And it's got a couple of outputs. So we have a Sonos, and you can see I can click through these. Things are nice and color coordinated, which I always appreciate. Make this small. There we go. Make this big so it's not covering up stuff. There we go. So I can tap through these, and so basically the event manager can go between areas and put things where she might need them for special announcements or music. And what I was just referencing on the last one was I actually programmed this Sonos fader to actually be the main level of the control group. And something that AHM lets us do is I can actually assign cross points to a control group. So if I do over here and I go to cross points, you can see I've assigned Sonos to these zones and have a cross point as a control group. So when I'm playing with this, it's not adjusting the level of the Sonos itself because music is going to the entrance and the patio and the bridal suite. We don't want to mess with those. I just want to adjust the Sonos going into these particular areas. Now, I could also do just the send level, and that's how I've got these entrance patio and suites set up, is that the Sonos is like just straight up the level of this going to this zone. But because the main area has actually 4 zones that I wanted to also give them control of, we had to use a control group. But that just kind of shows you how many different areas, and there's always a way to do something, and there's always multiple ways to do something. And we can also see I've got some meters here. They wanted to be able to watch, see if a handheld was coming through, to be able to easily and quickly mute things. The Sonos Master is exactly what it sounds like. That is the master. If you turn that down, it will get turned down everywhere. Swap fader. And it also lets them, again, an event manager is doing a ton of things during a wedding or during an event. We wanted to just be able to say, to like give them this iPad and let them, or on her phone actually it was, to let her go through and easily make adjustments as the wedding party needed things, or the bride and groom needed to adjust stuff. Again, all in the name of ease and control. A really fun one, an outlying one, is I will show you guys this one. We will do restore, and it's my friend Michael Lawrence is a systems engineer, and he does system tuning. And he has an AHM64 that he just keeps around, that he uses for all sorts of stuff. And we will do this, log out, and I will log back in as an admin. No, can't forget to upload. There we go. So now they've got, and I'll switch this back over here. So now he's got this total control over when he's tuning his system. Like in a theater, it'll have this particular theater he's using this at, or this is a normal setup where he'll do a PA left and a PA right, and he will separate those each array into sections A, B, and C. So you can see left A, B, and C, and right A, B, and C. Then plus he's got subs and fills and delays. And he basically has it so he can run smart easily into it, running pink through things, making sure that signal's there. I can turn it on and off, and it can turn things off and on to certain sections. So again, while he's tuning it and making things sure, he can easily just has his app here and it's doing exactly what he needs and nothing more. He's also got this tab for playback, which I'm assuming is either from a DJ or a playback from like a sound design team. So he's got all this going, a nice little meter page. And I thought this was like very simple, but like perfect, because I'm not sure I would have thought about this necessarily by myself. I can mute everything all at once. And it's, again, he's using the HM64 to like, he takes it with him on jobs to tune systems easily and quickly. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to make this app so I can use it on his Android phone. I can easily do that, turn things on and off, because he already has to move around a lot, moving microphones and busy working other applications. He doesn't want to have to work extra hard to log into anything. And this is that perfect example. So this is just a little taste of everything that custom control offers. And I think it's, I'm excited to see how other people start using them. When you guys download it and start playing it, I want to see what you guys are doing. Let me go to full cam here. I want to see what you guys are doing and how you guys are playing with it, because it's like this hive mind idea. You know, this system tuning thing is awesome, but again, I wouldn't have necessarily done it by myself. You know, I may help with certain designs and I may help people do certain things, but it's almost limitless. Like it really is easier to start with, okay, well, where do you want to end up? Like, what kind of control do you want? And let's work backwards, because we can make almost anything happen. So that is some custom control inspiration for you. Do you guys have any questions, any features you want to see? I'd be curious to see if you guys have downloaded and played with this before, because you don't need, you know, an AHM64 or an Avantis or a DLive to download and play with it. To upload it, obviously you need it, but you can sit here and have this. Nope. You can have this editor up and running and playing with stuff, and I can always hit the play button and actually test the layout and make sure, yep, these things are functioning, cool beans. And if you have a unit, you can connect to it. So if you're curious about it or want to see what you can get done with it, I really recommend going to download it. It's free to play with anyways. So, all right, I will open it up to Q&A. This was one of my faster ones. Maybe I talked too quickly. But what can I help you guys with? Anything you're interested in seeing, anything, any features or anything like that? Pretty quiet bunch. All right. Well, I will hang out here for a few more minutes. You guys are welcome to stay and ask questions, custom control related or otherwise. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday. And remember to check the calendar because semester 3 is officially starting next week, and we have it's complete. The entire semester was designed around that survey that went out, that things that you guys wanted to see. We designed the entire semester with just that.